Jeysi Li Dügard was 11 years old when she was kidnapped.
Everyone thought there's no way she's still alive.
Pretty, young, innocent child.
We've never heard of a child being found after 18 years.
New details in the Jeysi Dügard case.
Very happy to be in front of you under these circumstances.
When she reappeared, everyone was wondering, how did she survive that long?
I can't fathom how I kept it together.
How could she have been abducted in broad daylight?
Jeysi's stepfather watched helplessly from a distance.
This has never happened before.
Every parent's worst nightmare.
Why is it that probation officers failed to find her 60 times?
That's what I don't get.
I offer my apologies.
Mr. Mesner, we just want to ask you a question. They hear a report their kids living in a backyard, and they're not curious at all.
Find out how her captors evaded authorities.
If you stay in his front room, place you in restraint, because right now I'm searching the house.
Oh, he's an arrogant little guy, isn't he?
And what happened 18 years later that led to her rescue?
I happened to just turn and see the two young girls, and something's not right.
What's the one mistake parents should never make?
But you never think it's going to happen to you.
Pure hell for 18 years.
How did Jeysi Li Dügard come face to face with death and escape?
I wanted to see her more than anything.
Jeysi walks up the hill in front of her house to catch the school bus. When she reaches the road, a gray car pulls up beside her and cuts her off. She freezes. The man inside rolls down the window.
And his hand shoots out, and I just feel numb.
He shocks her with a stun gun.
My whole body is tingly. I don't know what it's from.
She falls instantly to the ground, unconscious, before he grabs her and shoves her inside the back of the car.
911? This is 911. On Pioneer Boulevard, the wash zone. My daughter was just kidnapped. Top of the hill with a gray Ford. A man and a woman in the car.
She comes to, face down, on the floor in the backseat of a car. The man behind the wheel is Philip Garrido, a convicted sex offender. Holding her down on the floor is his wife, Nancy.
After we were driving for a while, I heard the driver say, "I can't believe we got away with it." And he started laughing. It was like the most horrible moment of your life.
The Garridos drive their captive 150 miles to a blue house in a neighborhood near San Francisco. Garrido strips off her clothes and puts a blanket over her head. He takes the naked child into this shed, completely soundproof. He tells her he's going to put her in handcuffs.
He sees me hesitating and picks up the stun gun. He explains to me that he took me so I could help him with his problem so he wouldn't have to bother anyone else. He says that by me giving him an outlet, I am saving others.
And then he said he'd be back later. And he shut the soundproof door and then the other door with the lock.
Have you seen Jeysi Li Dügard?
120 miles away, her loving mother searches relentlessly for her missing child. She even goes on national TV to plead for help.
Pretty, young, innocent child, and it's time that she comes home.
What followed was a massive search for Jeysi.
Friends have been searching with her all day and evening.
Police started searching.
Police set up a roadblock and go door to door.
Parole officers come to the Garrido house. Jeysi Dügard is being held captive just 30 feet away. You can hear Nancy Garrido attempting to distract the officer, pestering him.
What does a parole agent do for his parolee?
Ma'am, you can come in the office and we'll discuss that.
The other
Right
day,
at an appropriate time.
The other
right
day,
now I'm doing a search, and I really, if you stay in this front room, and I don't have to place you in restraints, because right now I'm searching the house.
And so the parole officer leaves.
I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do.
I know it.
They never looked hard enough in the backyard.
There is a window above my bed. There is a towel and blinds covering the window, so I can only see a little bit of light. I grabbed a corner of the towel with my teeth and wiggled and maneuvered until I could see out of the window as best I could.
She sees moonlight streaming from the towel. It makes her think of her mother.
We would always sit on the porch and we would debate whether the full moon or the crescent moon was the better moon. Just always made me think of her.
I sing to myself the song we used to sing together. I see the moon and the moon sees me. God bless the moon and God bless me. I miss her so much.
I wanted to see her more than anything. worried I'd forget what she looked like or what she sounded like. Would she forget me?
That night, 120 miles away, her mother looked up at the same moon thinking of her.
June 2nd. I miss her. I wonder what she thinks about. I wonder if she ever thinks about me. Sometimes I hope she doesn't, because I don't want her to be sad. And sometimes I wonder if she is happier that I'm not around anymore.
And when Garrido happened to notice that the little girl had signed her name, Jaycee, on that journal,
I actually wrote my name, and I tore it out when he saw it.
Because he said you had to.
Yes, and that was the last time. I remember crying, just tears running down my face.
Her mother is still pleading with everyone to keep on searching for her.
She is coming home. That gives me a lot of hope, a lot of optimism. Somebody's, feeding me dreams for a reason.
Asking police to keep looking. She never gives up hope, even as 1 year passes. And a second. She even kept Jaycee's little bedroom untouched.
And I definitely like to be in here, being next to her. Even though she's not here, she's still in my heart.
And 2 hours away in the backyard, Jaysi Dugard is still bolted in, not allowed to go outside. One night, the Garridos are with her.
And then they tell you they think you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Jaysi Dugard started to feel strange. She starts to go into labor. No one is around. She's alone, trapped in the shed.
The contractions last into the night. I twist and turn and try to find a comfortable position, but nothing helps. It seems like it is taking forever, and the baby is still not coming. I've never been in so much pain in my life.
She came out, and then I saw her. She was beautiful. I felt like I wasn't alone anymore. Had somebody, and I knew I could never let anything happen to her. I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I did.
3 years later, another birth in the backyard.
Hi, my name is Terry. I have an 11-year-old daughter named Jейси Ли Дюгард. I've not seen Jaycee in 7 years. There was an extensive search in the beginning. We did a massive poster mailing. We did everything we possibly could to help find her. And all I can think about, all I can remember is not being able to hold her and hug her and kiss her.
By this time, August 2009, Jaysi Dugard had long since stopped looking at the moon as she used to do with her mother. It was just too painful. But mysteriously, this night,
for some reason, I looked up and the moon was just bright and beautiful.
And 120 miles away, someone else has also grown 18 years older. Jaysi Dugard's mother also looks up.
I had gone to my second job and got home about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I was tired and hungry and wore out. And I remember looking up at the moon, and I said, "Okay, Jace, where are you?"
It has now been 18 years. Philip Garrido is increasingly taking his delusions public. He decides to go on the campus of UC Berkeley.
So he came in wanting to host an event on campus, and he says, "You're gonna love this. I need to talk to you. I've got something that the entire world is gonna wanna know." While he's talking, I happen to just turn and slightly and I see the two young girls that were standing on the outer aisle. And I look over at the girls, and so I said, "Well, whose children are these?" And he says, "They're mine." So I said, "Hi girls, how are you? Come on in." And they sort of just kind of stayed propped. And so I looked at him and I look at the girls, and he's going on, and he's extremely animated, and they are not. I went to Allison and asked her if she could, I told her what I had. I said, "Allie, this guy is in my office. He's got these two young girls. Something's not right."
The two women engaged Garrido in conversation, pretending to be interested in his delusional rant, and as soon as they could, ran to check who he was. They discovered in horror he is a sex offender.
And I'm thinking, he's on parole, he's huge, and he's got this record, this violent record. This is not going to be good.
The family is separated. The questioning continues. There's a problem. A frightened Dugard keeps sticking to the script Garrido has given her and keeps saying her name is Alyssa.
She asked again for my name, and I told her I couldn't tell her. I felt like I had just been waiting for the right question. She asked for my name again. I said I couldn't say it. I wasn't trying to be difficult. I told her I haven't said it in 18 years. I told her I would write it down. I wrote down my name for the first time in 18 years. Jeysi Li Dюгард. It was like breaking an evil spell. In that moment, I felt free.
Stunned police officers ask if she wanted to call her mother.
They're like, you can see your mom, and I'm like, I can see my mom? I remember saying, come quick.
And I remember telling you, I'm coming, baby, I'm coming.
I was convinced that this day would never happen. For the longest time, I couldn't remember what she looked like. Finally, I took a deep breath and made myself walk through the door. And there she was! I knew it was her instantly, with arms wide open. I walked to her, and she was smiling and crying, and she put her arms around me, and I felt so safe and whole again. She was my mom, and she was holding me. As we stood there crying on each other's shoulders, she pulled back a little to look me in the eye and hold on to my shoulders. She said to me, I knew I would see you again.
Today, her two babies are attending college.
They're so resilient and they're beautiful and loving. It's taken a lot of time and it hasn't come overnight. You know, you have to put in the hard work and cry and for sure laugh about everything that you can. I didn't want to give one more minute to Philip and Nancy. They took 18 years of my life.
I am so lucky and blessed for all the wonderful things that I do have. Life is too short to think about all the things you don't have. I had my girls to give me strength, and perhaps, deep inside, the dim hope of seeing my mom again. Even if it is just one thing or person you have to be thankful for, that is enough. I could not have gotten through my ordeal without believing that someday my life would make sense. Life's adventure is important. It is important to live each day to its fullest, whatever life brings you.